to the channel. Thanks for joining me again. In today's video we're down at Fleetwood and we're going to be heading towards Mary's Shell. We're going to do some long exposures for sunset, and as you can see conditions are really nice at the moment. Hopefully sunset will turn out pretty well. Some really nice clouds in the sky and the sun is sort of shining through at the moment, so hopefully we'll get some colour in the sky. But we're just waiting for the tide to come in. It's got about another hour and a half to go, so we're just having a little walk on the beach here just to kill some time, and we're just going to head down and meet up with Ginger Captures and a few of the other guys down there, and yeah, so have a look at compositions in terms of long exposures. So yeah, if you hadn't noticed already, this is like the sort of evening sunset of the Ginger Captures meetup. This morning we were down at Fleetwood Nature Reserve and looking at the old shipwrecks there, which was last week's video. That was a really good morning. That the light was really nice and the conditions were really good as well, so really enjoyed it down there, just to get down there and meet up with a few of the guys and girls, and yeah, had a good time. So basically we come this afternoon or this evening just to try and capture the high tide around Mary's Shell and obviously get the sunset as well. Hopefully we'll get the colours. So yeah, it should be pretty good. So as you can see now, we've arrived at Mary's Shell. It's just down there and we're just sort of taking advantage of this sort of like statue of this ogre just in the wash here. And the tide is coming in really quick now. Literally about 30 seconds ago I was stood about halfway out there, and that's coming that quick. In the last 30 seconds I've had to move back here. So I'm just taking some simple shots of this sort of statue here. It is kind of the wrong way around, the sun's behind it and the statue itself, all the detail is in shadow at the moment, so it's quite challenging to try to get something interesting. That'd be better with the light on the other side, sort of lighting up the front of the statue, so we can kind of capture that detail, but just giving it a go anyway. So we've got the filter on, so yeah, it should be an interesting shot. This is not the greatest, to be fair, but you know, it's just sort of taking it while we're here waiting for the tide to come up to the shell. So I'll put that on the screen for you now and let me know what you think. Okay, so I'm set up for my first composition at the shell here. I'm just basically doing a landscape orientation, and because the tide's not fully in yet, I'm using the sort of curve of the beach here just as a leading line, just to try and sweep you into the shell itself. Putting the shell just on the sort of top left hand third there. I'll show you the back of the camera. So as you can see, I've got the shell just on the left hand third at the top, and then the curve of the beach there, just taking you in past those rocks and then back around towards the shell itself. And again, just doing long exposure. Got about 5 to 8 seconds just to smooth out that water, and the clouds in the background are looking pretty good. They're nice and sort of wispy and soft at the moment, so that's looking pretty good. So it's all looking nice and soft in terms of the detail in the water and everything, and the shell's really nice and sharp and full of detail, which is what I'm after. I want that soft feel, but with the shell really nice and sharp, so that's looking pretty good. And I really like the greens and stuff as well in the shell. I think it makes it really pop against the sort of blues and the yellows of the sand there. So that looks pretty good, and I'll put that on screen for you now. We'll just wait for this tide to come in a little bit more, and we'll see what we can get when it comes fully in. So we're about an hour away now from high tide, so just sort of taking some compositions as the sort of middle ground there fills up with water as the tide comes in. And there is some rocks in the sort of beach area that have not been there before where I've shot, and just trying to come up with a nice composition that includes those. And I think the best thing to do is obviously just put them in the centre, have them running right through the image from one side to the other, and have the shell kind of like on the third there. I'm finding that's looking quite nice with the sort of smoothed out ethereal water. Again, just sort of 6 to 8 seconds just to smooth out completely that water there. And yeah, it's looking pretty nice. So I'll just show you the back of the camera here. So as you can see there, just got the Mary's Shell just on the sort of right hand third there. We've got that line of rocks running along the back through the centre of the image, and having all the sort of water here just smoothed out, as long as the cloud as well is looking pretty smooth as well, so that's looking quite nice. So yeah, again about 5 to 6 seconds, focusing on the shell there, and that's producing some nice images, so I'll put that on screen for you now. And again, we're just waiting just for that tide to come up a little bit more now, and we'll keep taking shots and coming up with these images. So while we're all sat here complaining about having cold hands, there's actually some cold water swimmers there just in the sea. It's unbelievable really, it's really cold wind blowing at the moment, so they must be absolutely frozen. And yeah, looks fun though, so might want to try that one day, but yeah, a bit too cold for now, but maybe in the summer. So as you can see there, I've got a nice little composition set up in portrait there. I've just got the sun directly above the Mary's shell, and I think it makes a really nice shot that. I'm basically bracketing as well for this image because the dynamic range is quite bright. We're shooting directly into the sort of sun there. So again here, we're just setting up a really nice composition, gone really wide this time just to try and include all the rocks there, the line of rocks, because the sun and the sky is producing some really nice yellow and blue, and obviously the sky is looking really nice. The light obviously coming onto the rocks as well, it's really catching on there, and it's producing some really nice conditions. So yeah, it's looking really good. So I've gone really wide with this shot, including all the rocks along the line there across the break, and just got Mary's shell again just on the sort of right hand third. Probably crop that down to 16 by 9 just to cut out the sort of beach down here. I'm not really bothered about that, it's quite distracting. Again, smoothing out all the water, and that's looking really good. So especially with the detail in the clouds as well, that looks really nice as well. So I've set up in my final composition of the day there, and I've set up in a portrait orientation. I've got really quite low down to the sand as well, just to try and get a lot of detail in the foreground. I'm using these pebbles as the sort of water recedes, it's creating some really nice lines in the sea foam, and they're obviously leading up to Mary's shell there. And with the side light still coming from the sun, it's sort of lighting up the scene really nicely. The shell's all lit inside, and the light is actually catching on these little pebbles, so it's making a really nice foreground element there, so I think that's really interesting. I really hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you have, please consider subscribing to the channel, and if you wouldn't mind hitting the like and share button, and yeah, so until next time, bye for now.